Okay. We're live.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here finally with Bridget. She is an amazing, exalted being, and she has an exalting publishing house called The Exalted Publishing. And she is a visibility coach. I was sharing last night with my mastermind girls, how important it is to be visible, not so much for yourself, but more because we're all born with this vision, mission, and purpose that I'm calling it. And it's really nice to see Bridget embody that herself so nicely. And then the way that she brings in community and all of that. So I'm going to have you guys meet Bridget. I know many of you in my group and my following, you've been talking to me, and Bridget is here. I chose her to come and share about a project she currently has, a little bit about herself, and how it's been working for her. And I know it's been working so nicely for her tribe to come together in this beautiful, sacred way.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad that we're here. We were moving through all the tech stuff that happens when we have online businesses. It's so real. And it's been so nice to have some conversations with you too, to see what you're doing, and the community that you're bringing together too is quite amazing. And you said something important, which is community. That is like everything I believe in. Like, we are not here to start these businesses or share these messages alone in the world. We have a lot of work to do, and it's going to be able to happen in a more exciting and I think more sustainable way when we link arms and we do it all together. We're creating businesses that I always say we're not selling McDonald's hamburgers here with the businesses that we're creating. We have businesses where we are healers. We have businesses where we are business coaches or health coaches or life coaches, just trying to help people live a better life and truly understand what they're here on this planet for. So with that being said, we have a number of projects. We put together multi-author books, and it's just really an honor to be here with you, Tania, and talk a little bit more about it.
Amazing. Okay, so really, I was explaining a little bit in my post, and I want you to elaborate on the concept of a multi-author. So my opinion on the multi-author is, so many of the women and men that come to me have this great idea, this grand idea. And you know what? Like, I believe in NLP, we call it like chunking down. So we want to make things simple. I'm all about simplifying things and getting out there, right? So if you want to be visible, and one of the things I'm doing now is like, okay, as you're building your business, you can still have cash flow. I'm all about the cash flow activation, because we need it to thrive personally, and our business needs it as well. So one of the things that is a great way to get into the coaching online world is to have a book. Now, that can be very time consuming and take years. So tell us about the multi-author book and how it works.
Yeah, it's a really great point. So a multi-author book is where a group of people come together to write a book on a certain theme. So when I was growing up, my mom always had the chicken soup for the soul books in our bathrooms. And these were little chapters written by different people. So it's the same type of concept, right? We're coming together, we're sharing our knowledge, we're sharing our wisdom, we're sharing our story, and we're doing it with other people. So the time issue that typically is coming in for people when they're writing their own book isn't so much of a factor here. And then when you get to how to actually leverage the book, we have the power of a network. And it's very Aquarian, right? These are the times when we're not meant to just do it all alone. We're meant to help one another out. So what that looks like for many of the authors is doing lives like this, being interviewed with one another, being on podcasts, being a guest expert in people's groups. And there's just so many different ways that we can be putting ourselves out there and using the network that we already have in front of us, and that's created within these multi-author book projects, to then go forth and keep sharing the work that we do.
Yeah, and I see that so much. And I am super big on community. I come from a big community. It's called the Mashadi community, and some may be listening right now. Give us a thumbs up on the Mashadi community. It's like a secret tribe where everyone's mainly in Great Neck, New York right now. And I would love my friends in Great Neck, New York to share about, their secrets. And so what is the upcoming collaboration. What's it called?
Yeah, it's called Prosperity Codes: How to Attune to and Attract Wealth, Joy, and Abundance. And just like you said before, like cash flow is very important for business owners because if we don't have that, we obviously can't put the money toward the resources, put it toward the organizations we want to support, put it towards our lives and others. So the focus for this book is gathering women entrepreneurs together who want to be able to talk about money, abundance, prosperity, manifestation, how to do it, and their relationship with it. So, like, imagine more women talking about this. And I know, Tania, you feel the same. It's like, let's talk about this. It's like
Definitely.
the elephant in the room. No one wants to talk about money, but it's always going to be there. We come into contact with it on a daily basis, whether we're touching it or paying for, coffee with our phone these days. We're always in relation with money in some way, shape, or form.
I did a collaboration book, and I have really thought about, like, I just haven't even had a chance to talk to you, Bridget. I want to go ahead and do it because I have so much to share on the money concept, and just like break that pattern of the taboo around it, because just like we need oxygen and it's available and a resource to us. So it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
it's actually a myth that there's lack around money. It's not true. It's abundant and it's available. And it's so beautiful to see the women coming together and sharing their secrets of how they overcome what I call it the BS story and shift into the thrive story, because in
Mhm.
reality, there's always, like, we have obstacles, like we had obstacles getting on today, yet that's just a hurdle to get to the other side, and the other side is always there for our favor. And I think that today, like you said, in the age of Aquarius, and I'm big on astrology, and moving from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, I was right there in the heat of all of it,
Mhm.
like in behind the scene in the yoga community with Guru Jagat, who's one of our teachers. And I remember it's like, guys, we're going into this new world. In this new world, the things that works before, are not necessarily going to work as well. And especially now where we just came out of, 2 years, or coming out of 2 years of being shut down, that it's like been a reset in many ways where people have gone online. This is a great way to be visible, where you're not, like, don't have the typical Barnes and Nobles, you don't have the typical things. And it's really amazing. It is amazing, where I feel like so many of the women that are already in your group, that I personally know them because of the work that you've done in the collaborations. And I do want to let you know, and that's really the reason that, in addition to the work you do, I wanted to bring you on, because I want people to know they need that. And I feel it's essential to have the community in addition to the visibility.
Yeah.
So how do people, like, connect with you and, take this to the next step?
Yeah, it's so important to have community when we're being visible because it feels like you're naked sometimes, especially when you're sharing like vulnerable stories, as in the case of some of our past books. Like, we need the support so that when we're moving through the emotions and yeah, stepping out onto a different, bigger stage, we have our people in our corner. So, absolutely. You can connect with me on Facebook. I'm there a lot. Facebook, Bridget Aileen Sicsko, LinkedIn, Bridget Aileen Sicsko, or on Instagram at Blissful Bridget. I've yet to change my handle to make it all the same. You know how they always say that? It works for now. I'm just going to keep holding strong. So, you can connect with me there. And if you would like to write your chapter in this book, I'd love to talk with you about it and see if it's a good fit for both of us.
And how does that work with the chapter? What do they need to actually do, and what do you guys do for them?
Yeah, it's a good question. Okay, so when someone joins the project, they are going to send in a bio, a headshot, so that we can make all the promotional graphics for it. They'll send in their chapter once they've started writing it, and we give some guidance, like some prompts that can help you. So you send it into our editor, and then we have the editor that's going to go through it, give you some suggestions for grammatical errors, and some just content in general, send it back to you, and then you finalize it. But at the end of the day, we're doing all the back end stuff. So you
And
just
how
need to
many
show
words
up.
is it?
2,000 to 3,000 in
Okay,
this project.
that's a
Yeah, there's
lot.
two options.
That's a
Yeah.
nice amount,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm so excited for everyone. Is there anything else you want to share about? I'm actually really curious. I didn't ask you this earlier. Like, what made you, like, what was your passion around like starting this?
Mhm.
Um, yes. So if you can share that.
Yeah. I reflected on this yesterday. I realized that, like, throughout my life, I've always been very curious. I've always been, like, the child that wanted to know why you are the person that you are today. My mom would say, "Bridget, like, you just tend to have conversations with adults." I was just genuinely curious. And then as I continued on my path, I had a lot of issues with health growing up, so I went on a holistic healing journey, quit my job in New York City at a young age, and when I did that, I became a yoga teacher and started hosting women's circles. And when the women's circles started, that's when the light bulb came off. It was like, oh my God, you get to ask them questions, you get to hold space, you get to dance with them, you get to sing with them, and magic happens. Healing happens. So when I was given the opportunity to start a podcast, to start a publishing company, I had the podcast at that point. I'd been working with female entrepreneurs, helping them use their voice in live video, and I had the opportunity, and it just all made sense. All of the pieces of the puzzle just kind of came together, and it was like, okay, let's do this thing. And it's been a really cool journey thus far.
Well, I love to see you going. I love your vibration. I definitely teach about the vibe. And in addition to the community, you definitely have the vibe, which I can tell you guys for cash flow activation to be in a tribe that has the vibe is worth a lot more than your investment that Bridget's going to be asking you for. I always say hire people before they work with me because I help them elevate their prices. So thank you so much. I am going to tag your name is tagged. So I'm going to tag. So if you guys want to connect with Bridget, she's really accommodating and if it makes herself available. And if you have any questions and you're listening to this and, just please say like where you're from and where you're listening from and you're listening to the replay and we'll come back in here and Bridget and I will respond and connect with you guys. So please do say hello and we look forward to connecting.
Thank you. Thank you, Tania. This has been such a fun time. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay. We made it in time. Wow.
We did
That
it.
was
We did it. All right,
okay.
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.